with part 2 here. Um, all right, so this one says name an ordered pair that's a solution to the system of inequalities. So what you're going to do, guys, is I'm not going to name an ordered pair, but anything that's in this area where these two overlap is good. Remember, if it's on this line because it's solid, it'll work. But if it's on this line, it will not work because it's dotted. Okay, so for these right here, remember that your slope is rise over run. And if you don't like doing rise over run, you can pick 2 points. So here, this one's going to be kind of hard to read, but if I look right here, I start at my leftmost point and I go up or down, so that went up 2 over 1. So this slope is 2 over 1, or just 2. And then this one, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to also put one right here. It's hard to see with the lines. Sorry, guys, it didn't print very well to this. So I went up 1 over, let's just say that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to say that is 1/4. Okay. And then here is going to be negative 1/4. So, or maybe that's 1/3. It's hard for me to read this, so you're going to have to just take my, okay, and then this one is going to be negative 3 over 1. So this is going to be negative 3. All right, pretty sure those are 3's. I can't read it very well, so I apologize. So now, write the equation of the line passing through these 2 points. So the first thing you have to do is calculate the slope. So that is y2 minus y1. So that's negative 3 minus 5 divided by x2, which is 7, minus x1, which is negative 2. So this becomes negative 8 divided by 9. All right, so that's my slope. And then I'm going to plug it into point slope. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Now this is all a multiple choice test. So one of the things you can do is plot these 2 points and try each one of the answers on Desmos and see which ones go through it. So that's a possibility. So if you wanted to do that. Okay, so let's try this. So y minus 5 is equal to my slope, which is negative 8/9 times x minus negative 2. So that's going to be plus 2. All right. So first thing I do is distribute. So I get y minus 5 is equal to negative 8/9 minus 16/9. All right. And then I'm going to add 5. Now I can do this easily with Desmos. So I get y is equal to negative 8/9. And then I'm going to do negative 16/9 plus 5. So that's just going to be 29/9. So yeah, so that's going to be, yeah, 29/9. Okay, you can use decimals in this. The one that you have in your final exam is not going to be this difficult or this tedious. Okay, use the vertical line test to determine if each graph below is or is not a function. Now the vertical line test says that if you draw a line and hit a graph more than once, it is not a function, and that should be a vertical line. So this one is not a function. All parabolas that point up or down are always functions, so that is a function. And all lines that are not vertical are also functions, okay? The only line that is not a function is a vertical line, okay? Now, remember here that your range is your y values. So when I do this, I always mark the point that I'm working at. So this point is 0, -1. I do a minimum or a maximum point. So this one's going to be, I believe, 0, -2. And this one is -2, 0. And then this one is I think that's 1, 2. Okay, so for this one, we're looking at the y values. Now, the lowest point for the y values is this -1, because remember, we have x comma y. So the lowest point is going to be this -1. But then since we're going up, it's all greater than or equal to. So it's all y values that are greater than or equal to -1. This is very much the same as this, so as the other one. So this is your x and y, so this is going to be y is greater than or equal to -2. Now let's take a look at this. Even though this is not a function, we can still do domain and range. And if you notice, it goes up and down forever and ever because these arrows point that out to us. So my domain or my range is going to be all real numbers. Okay. Okay, and then finally, we have a y value of 2, but that's the highest. That's the maximum point. It's going down. So now it's going to be less than or equal to this maximum point, which is 2. Okay? I did a really good video on domain and range of continuous graphs a while ago, and I want to make sure you guys watch that. It really helps a lot with those. Okay, zeros. One of the things that I want you guys to remember, and this is a question right after your final exam, is that zeros, other words for zeros, 0 is equal to an x-intercept, which is equal to a root, which is also a solution, okay? So here, this function has 2 zeros, all right? So when we name this, we always do our x value first. So this is going to be what? -2, 0, and this is going to be 1, 0. And zeros are very easy because the y values are 0. Same with here. So this is going to be -1, 0, and 1, 0. Now here's a hint. A line has at most one x-intercept. So that's right here. So this is going to be -2, 0. This one also only has one x-intercept, which is -3, 0. All right, very important. So what's the slope and y-intercept of each one of these lines? Okay, so first things first, we want to calculate the slope. This slope right here is -1/1, so that's just -1. And then the y-intercept is right here, which is -2. So if I wanted to write the equation of this line, it would be y is equal to -1 times x minus 2. All right. B, my y-intercept is a +2, and this is a positive slope, and it goes up 1 and over 1. So this one would be y is equal to 1x plus 2. And C, my y-intercept is -3, and we have a more steeper line here. So this I went up 3 and over 2, so that's 3/2. So this one would be y is equal to 3/2 x minus 3. Now, when you're studying the domain and range of a function, remember your domain is your x values and your range is your y. Usually you go in descending order or ascending order. So my domain is starting at 0, 1, 3, and 4. Okay, that's standard form. Now with the range, same thing. I start with the smallest number, which is -2. And then I have 0, 1, and 6. But please remember, usually, for the most part, we're not going to mark it wrong if you got your order wrong. Now, when we factor this, I'm going to say, okay, what two numbers will multiply to -28, but add to a +3? And that's going to be 7 and -4. Because 7 plus -4 is 3. 7 times -4 is -28. So my two factors are x plus 7 and x minus 4. All right. Okay, inverse variation. Remember, It's y is equal to x over k. And k is equal to x times y. All right? So this is not inverse variation. This one is the one, no, I'm sorry, it's y is equal to k over x. I apologize. Having morning brain this morning. Yes. So y is equal to k over x. Yeah, because k is equal to x times y. So this is the answer right there. I apologize, guys. So anytime x is on the denominator. And you could also check it out too by the way you graphed it. It should look something like this. It's really funky. Like that. All right. Okay, well, that is the end of our final exam review. Remember, if you have this entire thing filled out, you can take it to the final exam when you take it, and you could be done. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do, and I'll be posting this shortly.